Conservation doesn't just occur in places like African savannas or Amazonian rainforests. In fact, cities can be great places for wildlife, with a little help from us. And it's just as important for people to coexist with wildlife in places like Chicago as it is elsewhere. That's why Lincoln Park Zoo's Urban Wildlife Institute monitors animals that live in our backyard, like bats, coyotes, rats, and ticks. Animals that live in cities have learned certain behaviors that help them survive and thrive in habitats we don't always consider wild. Learning about them yields fascinating and surprising information about how human and wildlife health is linked, and gives us insight on how we can safeguard both. The Urban Wildlife Institute doesn't just study animals that live in and around Chicago either. Through the Urban Wildlife Information Network, Lincoln Park Zoo also takes in information about animals around the world by gathering data from more than 50 cities in North America and beyond. Every city is different from one another, which means that every city has unique biodiversity. However, some animals can be found in many cities, like rats, the most successful urban species on Earth, and birds. These include pigeons, hawks, sparrows, geese, and even black-crowned night herons. Animals that live in cities seem to have a few things in common that help them survive. Take coyotes, for example. They eat many different kinds of meat, everything from rodents to deer. But they also eat fruit and many other foods that people eat and throw away. Because they have such varied food sources, living in cities is easier for them. This is also true of other city-dwelling animals, such as mice, squirrels, and raccoons. Successful city animals are able to adjust to changing human patterns. Some types of songbirds sing at higher pitches in cities, so other birds can hear them over the ambient noise. Animals like deer, coyotes, raccoons, and mice have figured out how to use storm drains to move under roads. And coyotes that live close to humans tend to move around more at night when people aren't as active. But the relationships between people and wild animals can be complicated, and conflict can arise on both sides. Coyotes are an important part of our urban ecosystem. They help us with pest control because they hunt small animals like rats that might carry diseases. However, humans understandably get upset when coyotes target pets as prey. And we harm them when we put out poison for rats and they ingest it. Our science helps reduce these conflicts. At Lincoln Park Zoo, we believe urban wildlife is an important part of the world's biodiversity and a key part of our experiences with nature. After all, these animals are the ones people see most frequently and connect with the most. To that end, we encourage you to take action with us and live wildlife friendly. Small actions can have a big impact. For example, stash your trash. Eating garbage isn't good for animals, and they can get into trouble when they try to access it. You can also create more natural spaces for wildlife to live around homes and workplaces, like growing plants that attract local pollinators. And you can help the Urban Wildlife Institute in another way. To monitor wildlife around the city and better understand their preferences, motion-activated cameras are installed by zoo scientists. With thousands of images collected each season, you can help identify what's in the pictures. Visit chicagowildlifewatch.org and spend a few minutes helping out. You can be a community scientist, assisting Lincoln Park Zoo in important work while reminding yourself that we are part of nature too. And experiencing nature in many ways, including in cities, benefits everyone.